Hello everyone, I hope you all are keeping well. So today we'll be starting our subject history. In the previous class I taught you about political science. So today we'll be doing history, and before we start I would like to tell you about the syllabus of history. Paper is divided into two parts, part 1 and part 2. Part 1 20 marks, in which you will be asked to do compulsory short answer questions, and part 2 you will be given for 60 marks, which again will be divided into section A and section B. It's consisting of 5 questions. Section A you will be given 5 questions, in section B 5 questions, and the candidates, the students are required to attempt 2 questions from each section, 2 questions from section A and 2 questions from section B, and 1 question from any one of the sections, section A or section B. Suppose in very simple words, that means you can do 3 questions from section A and 2 questions from section B, or 2 questions from section A and 3 questions from section B. So this is how your syllabus is all about. So today we'll be starting our first section, Indian history, and in Indian history we'll be doing important political developments. Important political developments. This is the first topic which we are going to discuss today, and within important political developments we'll be discussing about growth of socialist ideas. So before I start about this topic, socialist ideas, we need to know about socialism, what socialism is. So a very simple definition is mentioned over here. What is socialism? Socialism is a political and economic theory. What type of theory is socialism? Political and economic theory of social organization. It is a theory of a social organization which advocates that the means of production. What is the meaning of means of production? Land, labor, capital and organization. Means of production means there are 4 means of production: land, labor, capital and organization. So now who is going to have control over the means of production? Means of production, distribution and the exchange. Means of production, distribution and exchange should be owned or regulated. Who will own and who will regulate? Will be regulated by the community as a whole. The entire community as a whole will regulate the means of production. That means, in simple words, the wealth of the country will be equally distributed among the people. So once again, political and economic theory of social organization which advocate that the means of production, number 1, number 2, distribution, and number 3, exchange. Means of production, distribution and exchange should be owned and regulated by the community as a whole. So here there won't be any discrimination among the people. But in order to understand this more clearly, you need to know about capitalism. Capitalism is an economic system. It is an economic and political system in which the means of production is in the hand of a single person. So in a capitalist system, the rich become richer and poor becomes poorer. That means one single person will hold the entire means of production, and he will be involved in the production, and the entire wealth will be concentrated in the hands of a capitalist, that is a single person. So in order to avoid that capitalist system, so even India has adopted for a socialist system. In a preamble it is mentioned, no, with the people of India sovereign will consider India into a sovereign socialist. The word socialist is included there just for this socialism. So socialism is a political and economic theory. It is a theory of social organization which advocates that the means of production, distribution and exchange should be owned, controlled or regulated by the community as a whole. So this is all about socialism. What is socialism? Is in a very simple word. It is mentioned over here. It is a means. That means the means of productions are owned and controlled by a community as a whole. Now, this is missing out in capitalistic system. So now let us discuss about our topic, growth of socialist ideas. So you know about socialism. So now how did socialistic ideas come within the Congress? How did it influence the leaders of the Congress initially? So now let us discuss about the first topic. It is all about important political developments. First of all, role of M.N. Roy. Role of M.N. Roy. It is Manvendranath Roy. He was the one who first formed a Communist Party of India outside the country. So Communist Party of India was formed outside the country, that is in Tashkent in the year 1920. So apart from that, so I discussed about socialism, now I am talking about communism. So there is no much difference between socialism and communism. Both the theories are similar. Now another part is that the Indian Communist Party of India, which was formed in India, that was in Kanpur, which was formed in 1924. The first Communist Party of India was formed in India, that was in the year 1924. Okay, so this is all about the Communist Party. The first one was formed outside India and the other one was formed within India, that is in Kanpur in the year 1924. Now, let us discuss about other important developments which took place during this period. It was a time when India was still under the British rule, and many of the political leaders, they were trying their best to free their country. And after getting freedom, what type of economic system should be set up, that work was also going on in their mind. So Jawaharlal Nehru, who was the first Prime Minister of our country, so now let us try to know how he was influenced, how he was very much impressed with the socialistic ideas, which later on he wanted to enforce in our economic system. So Jawaharlal Nehru, in the 1930s and all, he was very much impressed with the socialistic ideas, and he wanted to introduce socialism within the Congress too. So Jawaharlal Nehru, once in 1926, he happened to go to Switzerland for the treatment of his ailing wife, Kamala Nehru. Kamala Nehru, his wife was very sick, and for her treatment he visited Switzerland. So during his visit to Switzerland, he was very much impressed with the working of the socialist government over there in Switzerland. So he learned many things from Switzerland. He was very much impressed with the economic activities of Soviet Union even. But how did all these socialistic ideas spread all over the world later on? Let me explain you. After the Bolshevik Revolution of 1917, there was a revolution which took place in Russia, that is in USSR, and that completely changed the outlook of the economic system of the country. They gave much importance to the individuals, and through the individuals they gave importance to the other aspect of the society and state as a whole. So all these things are going on. So within a very short period from 1917, and we are discussing about 1930s, so within a very short period they had developed so much that Jawaharlal Nehru was very much impressed with the working of the socialist system even in Switzerland. And again later on he visited Russia also, and there also he saw the working of the socialistic system in a very smooth and in a developed way. In 1927, in the month November 1927, Jawaharlal Nehru got an opportunity once again. He was officially invited in Soviet Union, and there also he was greatly impressed to see the economic and social reconstruction taking very fast in the country which he had visited. So from there he learned many things, and when he came to know about the socialistic ideas in detail, then he expected to make use of those ideas in his country, India. So when he visited there, he was very much impressed. So when he returned back, and he wanted to implement the socialistic ideas and views in the minds of the people, so that they may get attracted to know more about socialism and to set an economic based on socialism. Then in the elections of Jawaharlal Nehru as the president of Indian National Congress, every year elections to the Indian National Congress was held. So Jawaharlal Nehru was elected in 1929, in 1936, and in 1937, and in 1938 Subhash Chandra Bose was elected as the president of the Indian National Congress. So here there should not be a confusion regarding the president which I am talking about. The president of the Congress, Indian National Congress president. Then every party, just like today we have a BJP party also has the president, right? Even Congress party has the president. Every political party has the president. So this is what about the presidential election which took place in the year 1929, then in 36, then in 37. So in this sessions, Jawaharlal Nehru wanted to influence the mind of the other workings of the Congress, and he wanted to explain the real work of socialism. He wanted to give the idea of socialism and the betterment which can bring in our country if we stick to socialistic ideas and views. So in the Karachi session in 1931, Jawaharlal Nehru has stated very clearly, he had given a very clear-cut idea what actually was going on in his mind. So he had stated in the session that in order to end exploitation of the masses, political freedom must include real economic freedom of the starving millions. There are millions of people starving in this country. So the real freedom means the real economic freedom which should be given to the millions of people starving in our country. So we must focus on each and every individual of the country. We should not ignore any of the people living in the country. So the economic system which we want to build in our country must be focused to bring the betterment of the people of the India as a whole. So in which nobody should be neglected or rejected. So this economic system even today is working in our country. Even in China also the economic system is completely based on socialism. So this socialistic idea is very, very important in our country too, because when our constitution was implemented, the socialism word was not there. But later on in 1976, the framers of our country also included this word socialism. India is a socialistic country, which means the economic system will be based on the wealth to be distributed among the people. That means the means of production will be in the hands of the community as a whole. But now at present we see that the means of production are slipping out from our hands and it is passing into the hands of the private entrepreneurs. So that is not a good sign for our country. Now he also, in that Karachi session, he also demanded living wages. Mineral resources, railways, waterways, shipping, and other means of transport should be controlled by the state. So states should have full control over the important industries. So why it is so? Because if the important industries are controlled and managed by the state, then government can give employment to the large number of peoples. Large number of people can get employment in the public sector. But now, at present, you see, public sectors are very handful. We have, let us say, even electricity department now has been privatized, Now very soon you will come to know that railways will also be privatized. So all these things are happening in our country. So all these now are left out in theory only. So mineral resources, railways, waterways, shipping and other means of transport, okay, should be controlled by the state. And Jawaharlal Nehru even gave importance that fundamental rights and economic freedom, fundamental rights and economic program must be adopted in such a way so that each and every people belonging to the lower strata of the society must be involved in the economic development of our country. So their involvement is important because once they are involved, they will get living wages. So this is how, my dear, the socialistic ideas were very much entering into the inner court of the socialistic ideas. And this was the trend been continuing from the Karachi session, then again Faizpur session in 1935, 1936. During these sessions, Jawaharlal Nehru elaborated the socialistic ideas with great clarity among the people. So he wanted to make the people understand about socialistic ideas, because people may say, why socialism in the country? Because Congress party was working on for the freedom of our country. Then suddenly this type of socialistic ideas, after returning from Russia as well as from Switzerland, he was influenced with. So he wanted to clarify, he wanted to give a clear-cut idea and explain to the people and other colleagues, other members of the party, what socialistic idea actually is meant for. So he decided and he did so. So he clearly elaborated the ideas. Now, in the Nehru's working committee, in every party there is a committee, certain group of people, they work together. So in the Congress working committee, Nehru's working committee, three important names are very, very important. Number one, Jai Prakash Narayan. Number one is Jai Prakash Narayan. Next one is Narendra Dev is there. Then Achyut Patwardhan is there. So Achyut Patwardhan is also there. So this were the three core important members of Jawaharlal Nehru who were trying to work on the socialistic economic programs to be introduced later on in our country. They were working on that. So they were that means Congress became so much influenced by not all the congressmen, but some of the important leaders like Jawaharlal Nehru, I told about Jai Prakash Narayan, Narendra Dev is there, Achyut Patwardhan is there. They are very much influenced with the socialistic ideas that the relations with China became better and better, because China also is a communist country and they also believe in socialism. So the example we can get is that in 1937, when Japan captured China's important town Manchurai, when it was captured by Japan, India condemned it. That means India condemned it in the Lucknow session. That is in the year 1937, he condemned it. That Japanese aggression in China was very much condemned. Again, in the next year, India, or we can say Congress sent a mission to China. Led by Dr. Courtney's. Medical mission was sent to China. That shows that India was very much inclined towards China, even they are maintaining a friendly relation. Though we had a very good relation with China in the past also, but at present the relation is not so very cordial with China today. So that is something different. So we are discussing about the past, we are not discussing about the present. So history is all about the past. So this is how, my dear children, Jawaharlal Nehru, who was very much influenced with socialistic ideas when he visited Switzerland, and again in official visit to USSR, he was very much impressed to see the working of the economic system based on socialistic pattern. So he wanted to implement or work on socialistic ideas once he returns back to India, and he did so also. First of all, we can say that he created an atmosphere among the party workers all the congressmen should understand what actually I am trying to say. So he gave a clear-cut idea. He explained socialism clearly to the congressman even, and he wanted to continue the national movement by including the peasants and the workers within the Indian national movement, which was led by Indian National Congress. So socialism within the Congress. The socialism within the Congress. So Congress ideology was different. It doesn't make a difference. But the new ideas which was included was the added advantage for the Congress party to continue their national struggle. So apart from Jawaharlal Nehru, Subhash Chandra Bose also was there. So he was also very much inclined towards socialism. So Subhash Chandra Bose was twice elected as the president of Indian National Congress. First one in 1938 and second one in 1939. But he was very much disappointed because he could not work accordingly. That is why he resigned from the Indian National Congress and he started a new party based on socialism, which was known as Forward Bloc. And this Forward Bloc continued the struggle to free the country from the British rule. It doesn't mean that Forward Bloc had a different ideology. The motive, the objective of Forward Bloc was to free the country from the British rule. Now, apart from all this, we need to understand about the Congress Socialist. Now, socialism, everywhere we are talking about socialism. Everywhere we are talking about socialism. But what is the main motive of socialism? We understood it. But socialism getting into the Congress, will the Congress socialism owe allegiance to the Communist International? Will they be very much obedient to the Communist International? It was nothing like that. The Congress socialism owe allegiance to the Congress party. Congress socialism, then the socialism within the Congress own allegiance, that means they obeyed Congress, whereas the Communist party, they own their allegiance to the Communist International. That is the difference between Congress socialism and the Communist. The Congress socialism own their allegiance to the National Congress, whereas the Communist party which was established in our country, they own their allegiance to the Communist International. Communist International means Russia was there, China was there. So even today you see, Communist party is there in our country. They are being funded by the Communist International. China is there, Russia is there. Most of the communist countries, they are funding them. And with this fund, they are trying to rebuild their party again. So this is all about the Communist Party doing in our country. So it is all about ideology. Socialism is an ideology. Socialism is an ideology. Congress party has an ideology. BJP party has an ideology. Each and every party, they have their own ideology. We are divided by ideology. Parties are same. BJP party, Congress party, CPM parties are all run by human beings. But only one thing makes them different. That is the ideology which they follow and believe in it. So there is no personal arrogance against each other. So now Congress Socialist. The Congress Socialist. So within the Congress now, after the hard work being done by Jawaharlal Nehru, explaining and making the people understand about the socialism, slowly and gradually, the Congress socialism was increasing, and it doesn't mean that each and every member of the Congress, they were very much inclined towards socialism. It was not so. Few congressmen like Jawaharlal Nehru, as I told you earlier, Jai Prakash Narayan, Achyut Patwardhan was there, then Ram Manohar Lohia was there, Aruna Asif Ali, and others. They were very much inclined towards socialism, and they started a Congress Socialist Party in 1934. Within the Congress, they started as Congress Socialist Party. Not apart from Congress, within the Congress in the year 1934, they started a Congress Socialist Party within the Congress itself. So once again, let me clear you. Congress Party, that means Congress Socialism. Congress Socialist Party was not apart from Congress. Within the Congress, within the Congress, this party was formed by in the year 1934 by Jayaprakash Narayan, then Achyut Patwardhan, Acharya Narendra Dev, Ram Manohar Lohia, and Aruna Asif Ali. Okay, now through the platform of the Congress Socialist Party, through the platform of the Congress, started to work out the socialistic program. They started to work out the socialistic program through the Congress. They joined hands with the Congress to carry out the national struggle. They even joined hands with the Congress to carry out the national struggle with the help of the workers and the peasant class. Workers and peasant class were also included in the national struggle. But other important leaders of the Congress like Patabi Sitaramaiah was there, Sardar Patel was there, Rajendra Prasad was there. They were known as old guards. They were the veterans of the Congress party. They were not happy with the work of the socialistic pattern. So they were stick to their old ideas of Congress. They were carrying on, but they were not happy with Jawaharlal Nehru's idea of socialism and all. So in 1934, the Congress Working Committee condemned. In 1934, the Congress Working Committee condemned the radical programs of the socialists. The socialistic programs were condemned by the old guards of the Congress. So Jawaharlal Nehru, as you know, that he was the one inclined towards socialism, but he being the member of the Congress, he could not openly support the socialistic party, but he was a bit hesitant. But intellectually he was inclined towards socialism. He was very much attracted with socialism as we started from the beginning, but openly he could not go against the Congress party, which were at that time controlled by the old guards, the veteran leaders of the Congress. He was bit inclined towards socialism. Jawaharlal Nehru was there to support socialism. He was sympathetic. Towards the group. He supported many of the views of the socialists, but did not. He supported many of the views of socialists, but did not formally join this group, because that may annoy Mahatma Gandhi, because he was very much attached with Gandhiji. Jawaharlal Nehru was very much attached with Gandhiji, and his personal loyalty. Jawaharlal Nehru's personal loyalty was towards Gandhiji, so he wanted to keep it intact, but it doesn't mean that he was going to ignore socialism. It was nothing like that. So, being the congressman and the supporter of socialism, he wanted to manage both side by side. So that is all about the Congress socialism. So once again, what is the basic difference between Congress socialism, which I told you earlier also, the last one? What is the difference between the Congress socialist and the communist? Both are same. You may feel like that, but little difference is there. The Congress socialist owed their allegiance to the National Congress, and they were nationalist. They were nationalists. They were doing whatever they were doing, it was for their nation. And the Congress socialists believed in class struggle and wanted abolition of capitalism. They believed in class struggle and they wanted to abolish capitalism, zamindari system, and the princely states. Princely state, number of states were there in our country run by the Raja Maharajas and all, which were under the control of the British government. British government, they control the Raja Maharajas, and Raja Maharajas control the people living within the states. And those people in the states, they did not join the national movement because that may annoy their rulers. So, and whereas communists expressed their allegiance to the Communist International, and the communists also believed in the goal of international communist society. So here they believe in the Congress acceptance of a national freedom, whereas Communist Party believes in the success and the goal of Communist International. So this is the basic difference between Congress Socialism and the Communist Party of our country. So this is what we understood about Congress Socialism. This is the first part we have completed today. In the next class, we'll do about trade union activities, Kisan Sabha movement and all. These are the minor topics. Then later on, when we start about Quit India movement and all, from there I think you'll be enjoying that. So we'll start from 1935 onward, the Government of India Act 1935, and from there onward the real history of India begins. And from there you won't be confused regarding socialism and all these things. So before I end this chapter, I would like to give you short questions so that you can write down in your copies. So the questions are given over here. You can go through the screenshots. So the first question is, mention name of 2 Congress leaders who had socialistic leanings. Question number 2, in which session of the Congress Jawaharlal Nehru elaborated his socialistic ideas? Question number 3, why Congress was sharply divided into leftist and the rightist camp? 4, who was M.N. Roy? Then number 5, number 6, number 7, up to question number 9. You do it in your copies. So till then, take care. Next time again we'll meet, and very soon I am going to give you assignments also. Okay, please take care. Thank you.